We're back here, RockyTop Sports World, and I'm with Lori Moore, who is the Director of Marketing for RockyTop Sports World, and Cindy Cameron Ogle, our City Manager. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So what's going on in RockyTop? A lot of people around town, they're excited. They see it's open. They see cars in the parking lot. Tell us some of the success we've had so far and what's built in the future.
We are very excited to have a few months under our belt now, and the events that we've had so far have been very successful. They continue to grow, and we're just kind of building on that basis of success, and the events continue to get bigger. More teams throughout the Southeast and North are finding out about us, and they're talking about us with each other. For example, I can tell you a group out of Cincinnati came here for our Labor Day tournament, soccer tournament, and they sent 2 teams, but they actually have about 25 within their club program.
So that can grow in the future.
Yes, they sent them here to test the facility out and see what it was all about. So they were going back to their large club organization in Cincinnati and saying, yes, you can go back, it's good.
Now, Cindy, weren't there rumors that a couple of the restaurants out here, like McDonald's and Subway, actually ran out of food in some of the events?
That's what I heard. And I don't know, Lori probably has actually verified that. But we have set up a program, as you know, whereby Lori and her staff gets the word out to the businesses, period. I think, how did you go about doing that, Lori? You actually asked what businesses wanted to be notified?
We did that through the restaurants and notified all the restaurants and asked them if they wanted to be informed about events, upcoming events at RockyTop Sports World. So when we get an influx of visitors to the facility, that they know that they're going to be in the area. And so we had several businesses that requested for us to send them the information via email. And we're open to do that for any business in the area that would like to do that. And all they have to do is call our office, and we'll put them on that database. And we do send the information out through the Gatlinburg Chamber of Commerce through their e-blast as well. So there's several different ways to get the information. One of the most important ways is by visiting the website under our tournaments and camps. Our events, it's such a fluid list and it changes so often that we're adding events that's the best place to check and see what's upcoming in the next month, and the businesses can look and be prepared for what's coming in.
That just blew my mind because I've never heard of a McDonald's running out of food.
Yeah.
Cindy, how has RockyTop impacted the city so far? I know it's new, it's right out of the chute.
Right. Well, and let me back up a little bit for the benefit of folks watching this, is to re-explain the fact that how we got here today is through a very collaborative effort between the City of Gatlinburg and Sevier County. The city is a 70% funding partner. The county's 30. We always like to remind Larry 70-30, 70-30. I think he's a little sick of that by now, but that is how, and to even go back as far as to say that the reason that the city kept wanting to do this was how we got educated through doing a county-wide study with Alan Newton, Sevier County Economic Development Council.
How many years ago was that?
That was in 2008,
Okay.
I believe is pretty close to being the correct year. And all the cities participated in the contributed 10 grand. I think it was a $50,000 study, and the county put in 10, and each of the cities put in 10,000, and then I think Dollywood and the aquarium did the rest of the funding for the feasibility study. And that was when, very simply, from my standpoint, and less from yours, because you knew about AAU sports and those kind of things with your children, but we learned that sports tourism was a incredible tourism sector, and that actually it is the only sector of tourism that grew during the recession. We talked earlier about the recession and how we all worked together to manage that and deal with that, but that really got our attention, and we kept saying, man, we'd like to do this. Where can we possibly do this? went out to Pittman Center, looked at some property, about got shot and killed and tarred and feathered, and run out of town. But it seemed like a good idea at the time, but that didn't last very long. And then we just continued to talk about it, and got together, the Dr. Parton and his thinking, and County Mayor Larry Waters and Assistant County Mayor Greg Patterson, and Marty Nicely, our local recreation director, and Alan Newton. And we just continued to talk about how in the world could Gatlinburg ever put together a project like this. In that context, I don't just mean financially, more so I mean physically, to find where and find the space. And then the group came up with the idea of using the existing facilities of the Gatlinburg Pittman High School campus, the Gatlinburg Community Center, and of course Mills Park. Parking was a big deal. So I know this has been said, but I just think it's always good to come back to how what even enabled us to get here today. And as to the impact on the city, I mentioned earlier that we're continuing to see growth in the economy. It is early in this process, but it's so difficult, and Lori and I have talked about this. It's so hard to know exactly, what the impact is. But I think that Lori has some. There was a performa that was done by SFA. And they projected X number of events for the first year and X number of economic impact. And Lori, why don't you tell us where we are now?
Where are we with that? Are we behind? Are we?
We are
even?
ahead.
We're ahead.
We are most definitely ahead, and that's probably some of the best news that we can share with the Gatlinburg community about what's going on here. In our first year, we were projected to do 26 events, and never at one time were we projected to have an indoor and an outdoor event going on simultaneously. We are very happy to report that we are now at 35 contracted events, and we have several more committed that just need to sign the contract. But so that's about a 35% increase over the original performa. And the original performa also had us having about a $10 million impact economic impact within the first year, and right now we're projected more in about the $14.5 million impact range. So it really, truly, truly is a testament to the history of what you just spoke about, that they kept thinking about it, they kept moving forward. Both of you were a part of that process that kept moving this project forward, and by those numbers, I think it truly proves that this was something that was needed. It was needed regionally, because we're finding from our event planners that many of them are in the regional market, and then it also feeds out nationally. I mean, we have tournament event planners that we're working with out of Texas and out of the Northeast that are going to be bringing new visitors into market. So just the fact of where we are located in Gatlinburg and everything there is to offer, and that we have a world-class facility, it is just the perfect combination. And as much as I would like to attribute to Steve Daugherty and myself that we're just amazing salespeople, it's what the community leaders did in their foresight into making sure this happened, and to what it is. It's a beautiful facility in a beautiful location, and the event planners recognize that immediately, and so do the teams and the athletes that are coming here. Not only are they blown away when they walk through the doors or out to the fields, but they immediately respond with, "We're coming back here."
That's wonderful.
So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
and I really think the tail is going to be 10, 20, 50 years from now, when we know our repeat visitor rate is tremendous here.
Sure.
And so when we're sharing Gatlinburg with them now at a young age, and they're having a great experience at RockyTop Sports World, and they're having a great experience downtown, then all that's going to do is keep bringing them back again and again and again. So we're continuing that repeat visitor rate for many years to come. So who knows how long the impact is gonna is gonna last here. It's gonna be great.
I remember you were trying to sell the location here and sell RockyTop, when it was under construction.
Yes.
And there were people that didn't know, well, it's actually going to be completed, what's the future hold. But Now, how is the response from the planners when you talk to them and you can actually show them actual footage of events going on here?
That is great, but what's even better is the event planners are already talking. They're talking among themselves.
Oh, that's great.
And when you get them promoting a facility to each other and they are telling about the experience they had. And I'm thrilled about the facility, and I'm thrilled about, I know how much fun they're going to have in Gatlinburg, but as on the operations side here at Sports World, when I hear the comments coming back from those operators, the staff was amazing. When they start talking about those things, then I know that we're firing on all cylinders. We're getting it right. And that's the kind of comments when I'm visiting these national shows and I'm talking to the event planners, that's the feedback I'm getting. So that's invaluable. You just can't replace that out in that marketplace.
Right.
And to hear a lot of the other venues throughout the country who are extremely envious of us in the sense of great. I mean, we have a wonderful facility and beautiful scenery, but they also know and have seen at the shows because of your support at the shows. They've seen that our community is supporting us. They've seen that our city and county leaders are behind this. And not all the venues across the country are fortunate that way. So yeah, we have a lot to brag about when we go to these shows, and just a lot to be proud of. I mean, we really do, because I know that when I'm out promoting the facility, I know that our operations team is going to take care of them when they get here. So being able to fold that together, it's a pretty easy package to sell.
And I guess to explain also that as much as we want to claim Lori, which we claim her, but as a city employee or a joint venture city-county employee, she is technically an employee of Sports Facilities Advisory Group, which is the group that we discovered in our journey of getting here. And really one of the few companies in the country that has this expertise of knowing about these facilities. And so we're thrilled. It's so wonderful to have her, and she is doing such a fabulous job. But just to so folks understand that we have a contract with Sports. I still call it Sports Facility Advisory Group. I think they kind of have a little bit of a different name as it relates to what they're doing here at RockyTop. Sports Facilities Management Group or some such. But to us, it's still the good old SFA, not USA, but SFA. And so we recognize, we and the county folks, Larry and Greg, and Ellen, we all recognize that we really didn't have the expertise in this industry.
Right.
Yet.
Right.
Yet.
Right.
Right.
So we're all working on that, and so we do have a 3-year agreement with them to operate and manage the facility and market the facility. And we couldn't have ended up with a better marketing director than Lori. So.
I'm in a dream job, so it's it's wonderful.
It's another dream is a dream come true that so many people had this vision, and how we've talked about before how all the planets lined up, being able to buy the contiguous property and just everything just working out, and we had a great contractor, a great architectural firm.
Yes.
And then hooking up with the SFA.
Right.
That sitting here is just seeing that dream become reality.
It is.
And just to think of how many hundreds of thousands of young kids that this whole facility is going to impact in a positive way their lives.
Right.
And we're very proud of it. But tell us just a little bit the feel and the atmosphere in here when you've got like a huge volleyball event. I mean, that's got to be just electrifying.
Yeah, you want me to get really excited now, don't you?
Yeah.
The place is
Don't
beautiful.
hold back.
I won't. When kids come here, and you see the kids go out on the field, and you see them come out on the court and start having a good time, everything just comes together, because we know that this is going to be a great economic driver for the city of Gatlinburg. We know that, and it's proving to be the case. Yeah. But when you see the kids come in here and have fun, for someone who's very supportive of youth athletics, there is no better feeling, and you just see the happiness, the smiles on their face, and they're running through the hallways and just having the best time in the screams and the yells, and it is truly an asset. And our general manager talks about we're here to change lives, and I really think we are. I mean, providing a safe environment for kids to come and play these travel sports, but also to extend that to the kids in our community, whether they be at GP, Sevier County High School, Pigeon Forge, wherever, that they can come up here and have an opportunity to work in a sporting environment. So many kids just get so excited about their sports and their travel sports, and I want to be an NBA player or whatever. And in reality, that's just not going to happen. But this is such a booming field right now. I mean, it is the fastest growing segment in travel. So, so there are so many jobs that are associated with that. And whether it be a marketing director, a facilities director, a programs manager, there are so many avenues where kids can grow up in sports and have a profession in sports. So for me, being from this area, that's a big bonus, is to be able to offer those opportunities for kids to come in and work part-time events, and just how great is it for them to be able to say, hey, I worked an AAU tournament, or hey, I worked a Nike camp. Those are just opportunities that they did not have before. And so not only did the community leaders create job opportunities, full-time and part-time, but they created a great avenue for kids to see a new actual profession that they could go into.
That's very positive and a real good point. You know, and Cindy mentioned a little bit, you know, I've done some of the AAU traveling with my kids, and I've been in venues in Kentucky, which were nice, and I've been in venues in Georgia, which were nice, but nothing like this. I never walked into a place like this and go like, this is just amazing.
And stand on that field and that view is just, I mean, it's just breathtaking.
It is.
You can't beat it.
And to be able to come to a tournament and not have to travel 30 minutes to your next venue that you have to play, and then jump back in the car and go someplace to another venue. For us to have actually, there's 6 in the facility, but 10 hardwood courts that we have access to within about 300 yards of each other, and the same way with the fields. For it all to be on this campus is just not something that many venues can provide.
And I'd like to mention too, if people want to be involved with sponsorships, they can contact you. If somebody's watching this and they have a team that wants to come and experience the RockyTop Sports World with whatever sport they have, contact you.
Yes, contact me. Okay. Our phone number here is 325-0044, and there are great opportunities for our attractions and businesses to have a direct impact to the visitors that are coming into our doors. So our partnerships so far have worked out very well, and I think they're happy with the exposure that they're getting here and their return they're getting back in the market. And so we're working on the local sponsorships, also working on national sponsorships. One of the great national sponsorships we have is with Gatorade, and we actually provide water and Gatorade for all of the athletes that participate in our sports. There are some NCAA regulations when it gets to the collegiate level, but for our regular amateur tournaments that we're performing here, there's water and Gatorade provided for every athlete, and that's just not something that you get everywhere you go. So it's just another added experience that just sort of exceeds expectations for the guests.
And we have a new spokesperson.
That's what I was going to say. Speaking of national sponsorships, I think we've got someone that maybe can really take us to that level, and that would be Coach Philip Fulmer. Is that whom we're speaking of?
Yes, sir. UT coach, past UT coach, national champion,
Hall of Fame coach, and he is working with us. And granted, as much as I love RockyTop Sports World and can get us in certain doors, he can probably get us in a few more. So we will definitely take advantage of that. But also just to hear his perspective of when he's here, he has seen facilities. Great, small, he has truly, when they're recruiting, they go to every high school around, and for him to come in here and be as excited about the facility, same kind of experience we've all had when we walked out on that field. The first time he walked out there, he just said, "Wow." So to get that kind of reaction out of someone at that with that caliber of level, it was pretty impressive. So we're really thrilled to have him on here.
Well, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work with the city. And we're just all so blessed and very fortunate that we have this right here in our backyard. And all the other things people can do when they come here to experience this, everything in Gatlinburg, restaurants, attractions, retail, the national park.
Yes.
It's a great place to visit.
Yes, it is.
Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot. Thank you.